What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Birdie Me, the podcast, powered by BackSwing Golf Events. My name is Nick Johnson, and welcome to this newest episode where we have the privilege to talk to over 250 of the most inspiring women professional golfers who are now running thousands of charity events throughout the country, raising millions of dollars for these charities in the process. This week's episode was with Nikita Arjun, who has a very interesting story. He's from India originally and went to college in Savannah, Georgia. We went through the shotgun spinner for another time, basically branding this the second shotgun spinner episode, although this is technically episode 4. We went over a few different topics from her favorite drills to her favorite, you know, travel tips to her support system. So we were very fortunate to get her on the podcast this week and very thankful she was able to squeeze us into her busy schedule where she's now splitting time between the Epson Tour, the WAPT, which is the Women's All Pro Tour, and running seemingly weekly these backswing golf events. I don't know how she does it, but let's get on to the episode here this week with Nikita Arjun.
Welcome to Birdie Me, the podcast. Powered by BackSwing Golf Events.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Birdie Me, the podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We got a fun one this week. We have some really good news on the backswing front. We ran 29 events nationwide yesterday, which has to be some sort of new record. Pretty awesome. Getting a lot of buzz out there. If you guys have events that are going on and you want some of these girls to spice up your events, please reach out, DM us at Birdie Mead Podcast or at Backswing Golf Events. These girls are crushing it, and they raised basically hundreds of thousands of dollars yesterday alone. So they're really starting to see the ball rolling and want you guys to be a part of it as much as you can. Our guest this week that was responsible for 7,000 of that 100,000 is Nikita Arjun. Thank you for joining us. What's going on?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for joining us last minute. I know it's been very busy for
Oh
everyone
yeah.
in the backswing family, but give us a little bit of an idea of the event you ran yesterday
I was at
or 2 days ago.
at the Trophy Club in Dallas, and it was for the National Utilities Contractors Association. Essentially, what they do is, um, what how you say it, they do things to keep their contractors and everyone safe because their work is so dangerous. So the money we raised that day goes towards keep their safety. So
Okay, very
yeah, and
cool.
I was at the Beat the Pro, and like everyone loved it.
Nice. Where was it? You said it was in
Yeah,
Dallas?
the Trophy Club, country club.
Okay. And you're in
I live
Phoenix
in
full
Phoenix.
time, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you've been traveling quite a bit the last few days.
Yes, I know. It started in Wichita Falls, then Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Then I was like, I'm close to Dallas, so I told Mackenzie that yeah, I'm available, and then I got back yesterday.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm in Austin, so you're not very far from me.
No.
We could have gone and played some golf. Um, Nevertheless, give us our listeners a little bit of an idea of kind of where your game has started. I
Mhm.
know you were born and raised in India, and you went to college in Savannah,
Mhm.
Georgia. Like, give me a little bit of an idea of some of that culture shock
Yeah.
that must have happened. You know, how did you get started?
So, well, first I actually played tennis for 6 years. When I played from
Mhm.
6 to 12, and I actually picked up a golf club when I was 7, but I didn't really care much for it because tennis was my love at that time. Um, then like then at 10 years old, I started playing golf and tennis, and thought like, okay, I could do both. I could probably play both professionally. Then at 10, I was asked to pick one, and then golf was it. I traveled around India, all over the country with my mom and my brother because my brother played that time as well. So obviously he played the boys and I played the girls. And then played amateur tournaments and came over to the US in 2013 to a golf academy in Hilton Head. I actually followed my brother because he went to high school there. Um, and I got recruited to college at Spartanburg Methodist, which is a junior college in Spartanburg, South Carolina. So I played a year there and transferred to Armstrong State in Savannah, Georgia. And I played for them for 2 years, my sophomore and junior year. Senior year, Georgia Southern took over, and I was without a golf team. But I mean, I made the most of it and graduated and turned professional in 2018. But it wasn't really a culture shock for me. It was quite. It's
Not
not
really.
really. It was quite easy. It's just because of the way I was brought up.
Give us a little bit of an idea of like what it was like growing up in India and being a
Mm-hmm.
multi-sport athlete. And I'm sure it was a little bit different for someone to be doing both golf and tennis, especially the golf side. Like, where did you grow up playing? Like, what was your family involved in
Yeah.
golf? Like, what got you started?
So my grandfather was in the, that's my dad's father. He was in the Indian Navy. So that's how he got into golf. And when he retired, he was just golfing every day. Then he got my dad into it, and my dad introduced my brother and I to it. And then my mom picked it up because she was like, if you can't, if you can't beat them, just join them, right? Um,
Right.
And my home course was actually Bangalore Golf Club, so it's one of the oldest golf courses in my city. Um, and we had like junior programs, and so I tried tennis and golf. So I think I would play tennis 3 days a week, golf 3 days a week, and that was just, I don't know how my mom did it because at the time my brother was playing only tennis, but it was it was tough because school and obviously in India at that time people weren't very supportive of athletes. It's all about education and what are you going to do if you
Right.
don't have a good education. um, but I mean we made it work, and starting 7th grade uh, we were homeschooled, so I was
Okay.
homeschooled
Interesting.
till 11th grade, and that's because that's the only way I could have traveled all over and done school at the same time.
Very cool. Very cool. I was definitely very
Mhm.
similar when I was growing up. I played tennis, soccer, and golf. So those were my three
Yeah,
sports. And I could never serve. I don't know why, but that was like my thing. I could never, I could hit, I still to this day, I can go hit ground
yeah,
strokes with my buddies all day long. But if they want to play like an actual game, I'm
oh,
horrible. I just can't, I don't know
yeah,
why. I could never
yeah.
figure it
I
out.
was It's the
Um,
same for me because I'm left hand dominant, so my forehand and my
okay.
serves were the weakest for some reason. My strongest one was my backhand, so my backhand is my golf swing now.
So are you left hand in
Yes.
most things? Are you, okay. So I have this theory that, and you play righty, obviously. For those of you that haven't seen Nikita's swing, it's probably the best swing I've seen in a long time. Like I could not stop just like watching it over and over. It's on paper, every position looked absolutely perfect.
Thank you.
So if you guys need if you guys need to watch a swing, it's definitely don't watch mine. Go watch Nikita's. Um, but I have this theory that there's a lot of good golfers that are opposite hand dominant and play righty, or they're
Yeah,
the other way around. I don't I don't know what it is. Maybe they're more balanced. Uh,
probably. Yeah.
Either way, I've met I mean, Phil Mickelson is another
Mm-hmm.
one that's like that. Rafael
Yeah.
Nadal, he's the other
Yeah.
way around. But it's funny how so many people maybe just because golf is very hard to pick up as a
Mm-hmm.
left-handed person. That's probably part of it. You can pick up tennis pretty easily
Yeah.
either way, but golf has always been. I feel bad for left-handed golfers because they can't find equipment. It's a little
Yeah.
better, but when you and I were growing up, it was so hard to find the
Oh
left-handed
yeah, for
equipment.
sure.
Um, those poor lefties. So now you're on the Epson Tour full time.
I do have status on the Epson Tour, but it's not the greatest. So
Okay.
right now I'm playing the Women's All Pro Tour full time. And with
Okay.
that, if you win the finish top two at a tournament, you get exemption into the Epson Tour event next week, the week after. So,
Okay.
it's
Gotcha.
like a mini tour for Epson.
Okay. I've seen quite a few women get some success. I think Michaela was playing on that a few weeks ago, maybe this week.
I think
It's hard to.
this is a week off, so I think next week. Yeah.
Okay. I have a friend I played with. I played golf 2 days this week already. That's pretty amazing for me. But I played with a buddy of mine who's got conditioner on Corn Ferry, and he played in all the APT, which is the men's side. So, and he was telling me how popular that's become. So I definitely miss it. I used to play a bunch of tournament golf. Maybe one day I'll get back into it, but for now I'll live vicariously through you guys. Um, well, we're bringing back a segment of our show by popular demand, the shotgun spinner. Um, so basically, for all the listeners that didn't see last week's episode or not watching the video, I have a bunch of different topics on here, and we'll basically spin it. It's like a Wheel of Fortune spinner. You can find one of these on Amazon if you really want to, and play at home. But we'll give it a spin and see what topic it lands on. All right. So looks like it landed on goals. So give our listeners a little insight into your short-term goals, your long-term goals. Obviously, you want to get on the LPGA tour at some point, but give us an idea of like short-term goals that you're working on to get to that point.
The short-term goal right now till August is to obviously win on the Women's All Pro Tour, so I can get on the Epson. But come August is when we have Q School, and that's when the goal changes.
Got it.
So the goal then is to get as far as I can into Q School, like just Q Series. And then I get if I get to Q Series, I get an entire season on the Epson, and then work my way onto the LPGA. And then obviously on the LPGA,
So
it's like
trying
win.
so trying to get a consistent schedule is what it sounds like, right? So give our listeners an idea of like what is Q series, like how many rounds is it, like.
Yeah, so it actually starts. We have three stages. The first stage is in this year. It's at the end of August, and it's in Palm Springs, California. We play Mission Hills, which is the Dinah Shore course where they play the ANA championship. And then we play the Palmer, and we play the Indian Wells Country Club, which is a new one this year. So we obviously have a cut after 3 days, and then a cut after 4. Cut off at 99 or 100 players. And then we go to stage 2 in October, which is in Venice, Florida, and that's 4 days without a cut. But you gotta finish top 80 to make it a Q series, which is a grueling 2 weeks. I'm not sure if they made it only 1 week this year. I I thought I read about that somewhere, but I could be wrong. But at least the last year it was 2 weeks, and they picked top 40. Out of the top 40, get the card.
I mean, how many times have you tried?
Oh god. So I've been playing since 2017. I went to Q school for the first time as an amateur.